If you're feeling called to blog or write, or that you have some kind of gift, I wanted to make this video for you and let you know that I can relate to you. I know that my gift from God is to write and to teach. I wasn't really sure what to do with those things till I discovered blogging. And if we haven't officially met, I'm Blogging Brandy. I have dabbled in all kinds of little business ventures and ideas, but when it's all said and done, it all comes back to blogging. If you're not really sure what blogging is, there's different ways to blog. Let me say that. Blogging could be you're on social media and you're talking about your life or sharing a little something. Blogging can be so many different things. But when I'm talking about blogging, I'm talking about like having your own website, your own blog, and it could be your personal one. Like I have bloggingbrainy.com, and then you could have a business one or a niche one. I originally started out with, I don't want to say no niche. I probably had a niche and I went so niche that then I was like, this is not all supposed to go here. I started with one blog, bloggingbrainy.com. If you've ever thought about blogging, I'm going to tell you I have a dozen blogs. I have multiple blogs, and some of them are obviously more successful than others or further along than others. Some of these are more like hobbies, and I haven't put as much time and energy into them, but it all started with Blogging Brandy. And then I started talking about my RV life, but I was talking about my RV life on Blogging Brandy. And so I figured out not everybody on Blogging Brandy cared about my RV life. And so then I created RVersity. It trickled into more blogs than that. So then I started out with Birdie's Doghouse. That's my dogs. And then we have a cat. So Johnny has his own blog, Catitude Chaos. And then if you don't know, before I ever started blogging or got into this and figured out what my gifts were, I was working a 9-to-5 job over at Bank of America Merrill Lynch, just giving my life away to everyone else. And I knew it wasn't my story. I call it my Sarah Blakely moment, but I knew it wasn't for me. I went to college and did the whole thing because my parents wanted me to do that. Really, just my dad. My mom's always like, do whatever you want. Support you. And so she's like the best. But my dad is like, 9-to-5 system, do everything by the book. Even if you're in the system and you're thinking, I wish I could get out. I wish that I discovered blogging back when I was in my finance job. Obviously, that has never left me. My dad is a big money guru and he does stocks and trading. And so I have a background in not only cutting hair before I ever did any of this, I went back to school for my finance degree. So I have accounting and finance and investing and financial planning and whatnot. So Fancy Financials is my money blog. And then I have Maps and Miles as my travel blog. Redirected Energy is my religious and faith-based blog, where I share things like daily devotionals and all my Bible besties. And then I have RVing for Bosses. It's like a spinoff of RVersity. It is my digital nomad and money blog. And then Blab Boss, it's brand like a boss. It's my business and branding blog. I wrote a book all about business and branding. And then I created a website and a blog to go along with the book. That has been there for a long time. And then I have MA Exchange, which is my reselling blog. And I talk all about reselling and flipping items and making money with things you already have around the house or going to thrift stores and auctions and things like that. I actually did that to get out of my 9-to-5 job. So a lot of people think, oh, you just start this wonderful business and you start making all this money. I never started blogging or anything until after I had started a business. I started a business and then became a blogger when I went through a tragedy. I started blogging to heal. And if you don't know how I got my name, I actually got my name because somebody was making fun of me. My boyfriend at the time, who's still my boyfriend now, 10 years later, he started making fun of me and he was just like, oh, what are you going to be? Blogging Brandy, Blogging Brandy. Oh, I was like, that's an interesting name. And so I looked it up. Nobody was using it. And I ended up getting the URL and the social media handles and using Blogging Brandy. And so that's how I became Blogging Brandy. And actually, before I became Blogging Brandy, I was Bloggin, Bloggin, Brandy. And then I added a G to the end of my name. So if you ever want to talk about rebranding, I've done it. I actually have a whole series on my website talking about starting over right now and how I literally deleted myself from the internet and added myself back. So if you ever think, I don't know how to do this, I'm going to have to start from zero and I have no followers and nothing, been there, done that more than you know. Even just changing your name. I did a lot of things wrong during that process, during my rebranding process, things that I would tell you not to do, which is a whole nother video. So if you have questions about that, Maybe you're like, oh, Brandy, I already have a blog. Maybe we need to look at your blog and see why you're stuck, why you're not moving, why you're not inspired, or where you're at. Obviously, you're here for a reason. We're going to talk about that. And so that leads me to Born to Blog Club. That is my blogging blog where I talk all about blogging and where you're finding me right now. And then I also have one called The Drops of B, which is my sober living blog, and I talk all about sobriety and whatnot. If you look at all these and you see what I'm doing or what I've done with my life is a blog. And so I blog about my life through healing and all the things that I've gone through. This is where I've put it all. And so it used to all be on one blog, Blog and Brandy. And then I was just sitting there one day and God was like, girl, they don't go in one place. And so I have all these. I'll put these on my website, Born to Blog Club, where you can check these out and learn all about blogging. The reason I say this is I started out with one blog and then I niched down into multiple blogs because I figured out things like if I wanted to start a YouTube channel or if I wanted to start a blogging website, it's a lot easier to get traction when you're talking about one subject, only RV life or only dogs or only cats, versus if you're talking about, oh, let me tell you about my RV life. Oh, let me tell you about my cats. Oh, let me tell you about reselling. Oh, let me tell you about something else random that I have going on in my life. Not everybody cares. Maybe your friends and family. On that note, if I was starting a blog over again today, and even most of my blogs, my friends and family don't even know about them. I actually don't ever announce it when I do these things. I really wanted to come up with a challenge, a series, something that I could do to inspire other people because I feel like that's where people get stuck. It's like, oh, I want to start a blog and I have ideas and I have a name picked out or I have all these things, but I don't know what to do with them. I can give you checklists and I can give you everything that I can think to give you, all the tools and resources, but you are the one that has to take action. I've even built blogs for people, websites, social media, stores, handed them a business, a blog, everything in a box where they could literally just make money. And don't get me wrong, they pay me thousands and thousands of dollars for this. But what if they don't do anything with it? It angers me, honestly, because then I'm like, well, they didn't do anything with it. I want to tell people about these things and then they don't even do anything with it. And sometimes it's like, okay, if I could just give you the tools and you would take action, your life would change. You could blog for whatever reason. I really just wanted this to be a talk and me giving you a little bit of inspo about getting started blogging, mindset, motivation. Don't hold back. Don't think, oh, what if? What should I start my blog about? Or do I need my LLCs and business licenses and all these things? Don't put the cart before the horse. Don't create problems before you start the blog and the business and have money coming in to have a problem to begin with. You can do a lot of things under your own name before you branch off into a business. And a blog is not necessarily a business yet, although that should be your goal, is to treat your blog like a business. It's an asset. It's a digital asset that you have online. And when I think of a blog, I think of this is my house, this is my home, this is my place for people to come visit and roam and learn more about me or whatever it is that I'm blogging about. On RVersity, I only talk about my RV life. I do talk about like, oh, we have the dogs and cat with us, things like that, but I don't share about reselling on there or my non-alcoholic blog. Now, I might mention these, like cross-mention them from place to place, but I've just learned that for Google and SEO and YouTube and even social media and algorithms and your audience, they might commingle in all these little places, but they eventually will want to go to those other spaces. They might find me on Blog and Brandy, but then they're like, oh, well, let me learn about her dogs or let me learn about her RV life or whatever else that they're interested in. I try to cross-reference all my blogs. I call that my online blogging ecosystem. So it's like a blogging empire. I have all these websites and they connect together in some way, shape, or form. It's hard to explain. I don't even know how it happened other than the fact that I had everything in one place. I knew it needed to go separate places. And then I had like these online courses, all these different resources. But if I needed to update an online course and it's locked behind these closed doors, first, nobody can see it. Google can't see it. People can't see it. And then if I want to update it, it's like I have to update this whole thing. My idea was, let me just take pretty much all my content, all the things that are locked behind closed doors, and put them on my blogs and treat the blog as like a course itself. And so that's really what I've done with all my websites. I also have a shop and store and items. And some of those things are not even mine, things that you can set up. So, like, if you wanted to go set up and get mugs made and sell them on your website, you never even have to take possession of them. People could just go on your website and click and buy them. They don't know that you never even touched the mug. T-shirt, hats, any kind of little merch. People can go online and buy these things. I do this on Printful. All you do is just put a file and upload it online and then put it on your website. I can't wait to show you how to do that, and I've shown you on the Born to Blog Club. I kind of wanted to make this video as a prelude, and I was going to get all the little things that I would tell you to do to start your blog and website. I even started making like a little list of them. If you haven't seen the series that I'm making, go below this video and check that link out. I've created a whole playlist of videos that go together. And so you watch the first one, it teaches how to do the first thing and the second thing and the third. I just feel like if I don't do it with you, you're never going to do it. And I just want to show you that it's possible, because I was like, hey, if I sat down with you right now and you were like, hey, Brandy, what all do I need to get a website started? Like right now, like a blog. If you were going to tell me how to start a blog from start to finish, step by step, for beginners, how would you do it? Well, first, I would get a website and start setting that up. And you don't have to have a name for the website. You can start setting up a website without a name, and then you can name it later. And actually, the way I do it, your name that you're going to put on it wouldn't even matter, because you don't connect it till after the website's put together. You can go buy a domain. At the same time, I always like to go get the same social media handles, and this has to do with branding. Then you're going to need to think about what's your name and your logo and your colors and your fonts and your tagline. And all of these things can be added, updated, changed later on. But then you're going to need pages on your website. So you're going to need a homepage, an about page, a contact page, your blog, a shop. How are you going to promote yourself, or what's your other digital assets that you have online? You're going to want the same social media handles as the name of your blog, or something really similar. You're wanting to keep that social media handle the same across all the platforms. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, now it's X, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever you decide to be on. And I'm not saying you have to be everywhere, but you'll learn that I teach that you should at least try to secure as many of these social handles as you can, because you don't know that one day you might not want to be on that platform, and you don't want someone else to have your name. Then that comes into doing research with the URL and the social media handles. And I do all of this in like one sitting, just so you know. I can do this in about an hour. When I'm saying secure these, I'm not talking about setting everything up either. So like maybe you go buy the URL and you get the social media handles and you grab the accounts, but you don't go set up all the headers and add your bio and put anything on your profile really other than your name. You just secure the social media handle and your name, so you have it to go back to later on. Same thing like with your email list. I set up pretty much everything on automation. So if I send out a blog, it can go to social media and then it can go to my email list, and I never have to really do anything other than blog. And so this is all automated, but it's taken me a really, really long time to learn how to automate all this. I'm still perfecting it. And one thing I love about all my niche blogs is when I learn one thing on one blog, I can go apply it to all my blogs. So a lot of people ask me, should I start a personal blog or a business blog, or what should I do, and what should my name be, and what should I blog about, and what niche should I be in? You don't necessarily need a niche. And I can't tell you how many people I've worked with that go back after the fact when I try to tell them from the beginning to do it in their personal name and make that like their resume, their website. And then if you decide to do some type of business blog or niche blog later on, then branch into that. Because as a person, you can have all these different brands. So if you go to Blog and Brandy, I talk about all of my different blogs, and then you can branch out from there. If you just go to one of these niche blogs, then a lot of times you'll find me as the author, or on the website, you'll be like, oh, who's this chick? And you'll see I'm Blog and Brandy, and you can go find me, cross-reference. I can have the business blog separate from my personal blog, and I could have a business blog and nobody really ever even know who I am. I've done it before. Some of my clients say, oh, I wish I could just blog with a mask on, and so nobody knows who I am. And you can totally do that. You can have a faceless blog. You can have a faceless business. It does work better if you have a face, but some people like that. I follow some bloggers that I don't even know who they are. I don't even know if the stuff they tell me is true. It seems true because I use it and it works, but I don't know that when they say, oh, I make millions of dollars from my blog, or I have 1 million followers or whatever, that that's true because I can't see that. They can show me all they want. You know, the mystery of it is almost intriguing. For whatever reason, God told me to put my face on here. And so that's what I do. I just wanted to make this, like I said, as a prelude, I don't know if you call it a postlude, to my blogging series and about getting started blogging. I blog out of a healing and necessity just because I didn't know what to do with my gifts. And as a creator, even call myself kind of an artist. I'm not an artist like painting paintings. I'm an artist when it comes to creativity and coming up with ideas. Like if somebody said come up with a name or come up with a blog or give me ideas for this, I will give you a million ideas and you'd be like, hold on, girl, slow down just a minute. I can't even write that fast. To the point where some people probably would be like, okay, I don't want any more ideas from you. Excited about this. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. I don't mean to ramble. I think I just wanted to get kind of warmed up when I made this video for showing you how to do this as if we were sitting here and I was doing this step by step with you. I want you to be able to copy what I'm doing and think about how to apply exactly what I'm doing to you, your blog, your niche, your whatever you're creating. We haven't officially met. I'm Blogging Brandy. Welcome to the Born to Blog Club. Be sure to join the Born to Blog Club. Get on my email list and all those goodies. Follow me on social media. Below this video, I'll put links to all that. The website, borntoblogclub.com is where you can find all that. The playlist that I mentioned and everything else. And so if you don't want to miss the next video and the next vlog, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and tap that little bell icon so you're notified each and every time I publish a new video. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Yay!